So you own a small business. This video is being taken outside my kid's dance studio and another kid who's inside a Taekwondo class. But here, they're inside the class and I'm filming. So you can basically own 3 or 4 different types of businesses. The way that it's held dictates what can happen. Can you hold it inside a trust? Almost always yes. But here are the choices. If you have a business and it's a sole proprietorship, meaning that your business is held in your individual name, you are the one who owns the business, you are the one that operates the business, it is not incorporated, that's called a sole proprietorship. Then yes, you can hold a sole proprietorship in a business. You transfer the asset to the trust through what's called an assignment. It's a 1 or 2 page document that dictates what assets are held where. You move the assets that are held in your name into the trust, into the business, and bank accounts and other such things into the trust. That's how you fund a sole proprietorship and how sole proprietorship works within a trust. If you're working with someone else, either under a written contract, meaning that you have an agreement how you're going to share things, or if you have an agreement with someone else where you have a handshake agreement, you just have a handshake and we do business together, that's called a partnership. You can hold your share of a partnership in a trust. Same thing. Transfer the asset. Transfer all the assets from the partnership into the trust. If you have a general partnership and their assets held in the partnership, then you would transfer your share of the partnership into the trust. Now you might be saying, why do I hold a business inside my trust? It's actually pretty simple. If you hold assets in your own individual name and you die, then what happens is those assets now transfer through probate. And a trust is intended to avoid probate. It's there to stop a whole bunch of bad things from happening when you die and you don't have your assets inside a trust. And so if your assets are in your name, court, probate. If your assets are in a trust, no probate, no court in general. The third type of business that you can own would be called an LLC, limited liability company. You can create one in a lot of different places online with an attorney. If you do a DIY one, just make sure it's checked out to make sure that it's good. But if you have assets in an LLC, you transfer an LLC through an assignment. You assign your share in the LLC, whatever portion that you share, you assign it to your trust. Why do you do that? Avoid probate. Remember, if you have a sole proprietorship, a business, home, real estate, property, LLC, any property that you own in your name, which doesn't automatically transfer at death if it's not held into trust, then it goes through probate. Final type of property that you can own, final type of business that you can own is called a corporation. 2 general varieties, they're tax differences. You can have an S corporation or a C corporation. For our purposes, it doesn't matter. What matters is that if you own shares in a corporation, you can hold those in a trust. However, if it is a small corporation, meaning that it is solely held by you or you and a small group of people, and it's taxed as pass-through taxation, it's an S-type corporation. It's an IRS designation, but an S-type corporation. Then you can hold your corporation in a trust, but it has to be very specially prepared. It has to be prepared to allow the IRS rules that allow a specific corporation to operate. They continue to allow that corporation to operate within your trust. Normally they can't. You must have specific provisions within your trust. Now, you might say, well, that's easy. Why don't we just include those? My answer is, which ones do we include? Which ones? There's several dozen types. I do 24 different types of trusts. 4 of those are specifically designed to hold corporations. So my answer is not so simple. So this video has been talking about how you transfer assets into a trust. Very happy to talk to people about it in person. Go ahead and like and subscribe, follow along, and we hope that we can help you develop the keys to your legacy. Thanks.